welcome to a new vlog and trip report, and today we are traveling with the tram of the city of Linz in Austria, and here on the map you can see our route today. We are traveling on the line number 2, which is the longest line of the network. We are starting at the Hauptplatz main square, going to the university, and from there we're going on the whole length of the line back via Hauptplatz to Solar City. So we are starting here at the main square. First we are going across the Danube. Here in the background you can see my cruise ship, the Excellence Princess, that I was traveling on. Maybe you've seen that already in the last video. Here we can see the seat pitch, which is quite okay for a tram. And then on the other side there are a few beautiful buildings, but most of the buildings are rather simple buildings, so it's not a very beautiful part of the city when it comes to landscape or architecture. We have multiple track loops at Sonnensteiner Straße, Ferihumer Straße and St. Magdalena, but we are going all the way to the end of the line at University. For most of the time we do have our own track. We are not like a regular tram on the road, but next to it, so we are independent from traffic, which is quite good to be on schedule. We're now slowly approaching the end of the line at the University of Linz, and this whole part that we were traveling on is served by the lines 1 and 2, which are sharing the same route for almost the entire length of the line. Just the last 4 stops of the line 1 differ from line 2, and line 2 has several more stops on the way to Solar City, which we will see later on. Here we are at the end of the line at the University, and in the front you can see the older type of this tram. We are in a City Runner by Bombardier. This is the City Runner of the 2nd generation. We will later on travel also with the City Runner in the 1st generation. Here we can see the interior of the City Runner of the 2nd generation.
Nächster Halt, next stop, Schumpeterstraße. Nächster Halt, next stop, Dornach.
Now we've heard the sound of the City Runner of the 2nd generation, and we stayed in the same train that we came with, because we are now going still on the line number 2 to Solar City. So we are staying on the full length of the line. Here we are already back at the Danube, crossing the river Danube, and here we also have the tracks to Landgutstraße, which is the end of the line 3 and 4. There are just 3 more stops, and from here on all 4 lines are using the same tracks. Additionally, there's a line 50 going to the Pöstling Mountain, which is operated by a Mountain Runner tram, which kinda looks like the City Runner trams. They are related, but of course the Mountain Runner is made for running on steep tracks. And we are now going all the way through the city center of Linz, past the main square and through the main shopping street. And as there are 4 lines on this track, there are a lot of trams. So between the main station and the main square you have trams every few minutes. And then at the main station the lines 3 and 4 are branching off to Trauner Kreuzung and Schloss Traun, and we are continuing on to Solar City, and the line 1 is staying with us a bit further on. And here we do have a new track, because we're now going in a tunnel, then we're turning right and left to go directly below the main station, and then the tram station at the main station is right below the train station, whilst earlier on the trams were just going straight on and stopped just close by the main station, but not directly below it. Then we have the stops at Unionkreuzung and Herz-Jesu-Kirche, and at Herz-Jesu-Kirche we are coming back out of the tunnel. we're going past the industrial area of Föstalpin until we reach Simonistraße. There line 1 is branching off to the right to the stop Auwiesen, and we are continuing on to Solar City. Therefore we also have to cross the river Traun, and then we are reaching Ebelsberg. There's a short part between 2 stations in Ebelsberg where there was no space for 2 tracks, so we only have a single track here, but it's just a few hundred meters. Here we are already back with a regular double track section. From Ebelsberg we are going past the former military area of Ebelsberg. At Hillerstraße we have another track loop, and then we are reaching the station of Ebelsberg where you have connections to regional trains, and then we are reaching Solar City. Solar City is a housing project started in the 90s with a focus on sustainability and social housing. Quite interesting project, especially for the time back then. It was all quite something special to have sustainable housing projects, and as you can see it also looks quite interesting. We'll take a closer look in a few seconds. Here we have the center of Solar City, but we are going to the end of the line to the track loop Solar City. There I'm leaving the tram. You can take another look at the interior here. And as you can see, there are also tracks heading further on, but they are not in use at the moment, but it is planned to lengthen the line till the station of Linz-Pichling. But this still has to be constructed. For now, the end of the line is here at Solar City. And here I'm leaving the city runner of the 2nd generation, which we can see here again. And here we can see those tracks which are already constructed for the lengthening of this tram line. As you can see, they're just ending in the middle of nowhere. Here we have another city runner of the 2nd generation, so I will have to let this one pass as well, so I have a lot of time here at Solar City. And that gives me the chance to take a closer look at this housing project. You can clearly see that those are special houses with a focus on sustainability, and in the middle of the city there you have this like central building with a library, with a kindergarten, with a supermarket, a pharmacy, so everything you would need. And here we can see a city runner of the 1st generation, and this will be my next tram, and with this tram I'm now going back to the main square of Linz. So now let's take a look at the interior, and we will see that it looks almost identical. We have the same seats, which are quite comfortable. We have the same layout, but for example, the roof looks a bit different. It's looking a bit less luxurious than the newer version, but more or less it's the same interior. Comfort-wise, it's exactly the same. Here we are leaving Solar City, again going through the center of Solar City, and now we're taking the same way back, of course. Meaning we are mainly going downhill because we're quite far up now. We also have a few parts where we are going through nature, but mainly we are going, of course, through suburban areas of the city of Linz. Here we already have the single track part again in Ebelsberg. After that we are crossing the river Traun again, and then we are already back at the city center of Linz. At Simonistraße we are meeting the line 1 again, coming from Auwiesen. We'll see that in a second. Here we have the crossing of the river Traun, and just a few minutes later we can see the line branching off to Auwiesen where the line 1 is going. And now it's time to listen to the sound of the city runner of the 1st generation. We are now almost back at the tunnel, the main station, Herz-Jesu-Kirche is the first stop at the beginning of the tunnel. We are already down at the level of the tunnel, but still above the ground, and then from Herz-Jesu-Kirche we're going directly into the tunnel, which we will see in a second. Here we are going down to reach the level of the station Herz-Jesu-Kirche, and straight after it we're going into the tunnel with another stop at the Unionkreuzung and then turning to the left to go directly under the main station. There's also another track loop underground and also the connection to the line to Traun, but there's not too much to see of that because it's in the dark as we are in the tunnel. And here we are already coming back out from the tunnel, and now we are going through the city center of Linz again, with stops at Goethe-Kreuzung, Bürgerstraße, Mozart-Kreuzung, Taubenmarkt, and then we are reaching the Hauptplatz, the main square, which we can see here. And here I left the tram. And in the next video we will continue from Passau, because you've already seen what happened after this. I went back on board my ex-lost princess. That was the topic of the last video. And in the next video we will continue with the train from Passau. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Here you can see the name of the song and when the next video will be uploaded. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure to comment, like, subscribe or share the video link. And I hope to see you in my next video then.